The nerves were there, but they didn't let it slip. An unbelievable tournament from Omit. They may not have won the tournament, but they certainly won the hearts and the minds of the competitive Call of Duty world. With that, they should be proud. But for Koi, your tournament just got that bit hotter. To the semi-finals, you now march. A massive increase in prize pool. You've got to feel good about it. They may not have won the tournament, but they certainly won the hearts.
الو يا ولد.
Honestly, like I knew we were just way better than them. I mean, we scrimmed them a couple times, but I just knew. I mean, as long as we played a game and we didn't tweak, I mean, they ran exactly what happened there. But yeah, you know, they're all great players. They should all be in the league, so I hope to see that next year for them.
You said as I walked past you towards this interview that you're going to win this thing. Do you not see any of the teams left standing as a threat? And if you do, what's your message to anybody?
Yeah, of course there's teams that are a threat, you know, LAT, Seattle, Miami, Optic, but honestly, like I said, I'm super confident in the team, and as long as we play a game, I mean, I don't see a reason why we should lose.
What do you want to say to your fans? Because there's a nice pocket of them right here, and they have been so loud, so vocal throughout this experience. What's your message to them?
I mean, you know, you guys are insane. You're coming all the way out here to support us. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, you know, I'll have to make this fun for you guys.
Vancouver Surge next. What do you make of them?
I mean, they're a great team. You know, we haven't beat them in a while, so I'm just excited to play them again with the new team. So yeah.
I think you're excited to crush a key as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, wow.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's not waste any time. Let's go crush a key.
وعليكم السلام والرحمة.
Joe, you deserve this, you know.
I never got to do this before. It was always like on our team last year, you know, it was like Dan and whatnot. So I'm excited to do this.
Well, this is your moment. Our key crushing expert is going to talk you through exactly what to do. And for the second to last time this evening, a key
إن شاء الله بعد في مباريات.
crushed. What a story. What a
شكرا على الفولو.
But it
والله ما أدري هذا فولو في الكيك
Omit
ولا
out.
وعليكم السلام يا ياسر.
I don't know. You know what? I think you can repeat it. What did you say when that key exploded?
So, well, I can't cuss, but I got scared. I got really scared. I didn't know it was that loud.
You wanted to do it. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. It's great.
Well, there could be more.
Could be more.
Is that a promise?
قلبك.
Joe, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. Best of luck with the rest of the tournament. Blaze is now.
بقى في مباريات يا ولا لا؟ ولا جيت متأخر أنا مرة.
Thank you so much, Ian. Everybody, give a round of applause for Omit. They exit the tournament But what a fantastic show they put on in this stadium, and for all the fans around the world. Mamba, the series did not go how you wanted it to. What happened up there on the main stage?
Honestly, we just came out flat today. We threw our first map, we just needed to warm up. Our S&Ds, we threw our man-ups, and control, we just didn't play how we usually, so we just came out flat.
There you go, okay? We didn't see that same hot fire as before, but you know, it's a lot of positives to be taken from this tournament, especially for your squad, Challengers team coming all the way out here, getting top 8. How has this experience been for you? Because the crowd has been cheering for you guys all throughout the day. You made some new fans out here in Riyadh.
Yeah, I mean, these fans are the best in the world, man, and this experience has been a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm just grateful to be here, man.
There you go, okay? Now, as I, let you get ready for whatever the future has in store for you and the squad, as you get ready to go, what do you want to say to the fans at home and to the rest of the fans here in Houston?
We just appreciate all the support, man. We didn't think we were going to have these many fans, but it makes us happy having all the support. Thank you guys. Like I said, the best fans in the world, so.
The best fans in the world. You guys at home and you guys in the venue. That's going to do it for us.
Congratulations, movie star Koi. I predicted him to win, but I did not see a 3-0 coming. I'm joined by Ali and Nameless as we take a look at some of these highlights. And walk me through this final game. What was happening in favor of Movie Star where they were able to just establish control and maintain it throughout this series?
Yeah, the final game, talking about that control, that's something that Omid has been so good at throughout this entire weekend. But, Movie Star, they just dealt with it. Like, every time Craze got into their base trying to make an impact play, they would just ignore him. They would leave and make sure that they maintain map control and farm the rest of the Omid teammates, right? So just dealing with what, Omid was throwing at him. And obviously when you got performances like that from Joe in the map 1, like, you're getting that momentum, it's going to be easy.
You look at some of the numbers, Joe deceives, popping off in game 1. He finishes strong. Insight dropping 26 kills to lead the lobby, and on the other side, Craze doing what he could, but it's simply not enough. I look at this team, Movie Star Koi, formerly known as Toronto Ultra during the regular season. They have had 3 different players go with them to a championship Sunday.
Yeah.
That is so ridiculous that this power trio is able to just fill in with anyone. Abe looks like he's been there for much longer than this guy has.
It just means they have such a solid foundation, right? Even with the addition of Joe Deceives alongside the duo of Kleenex and Insight, we saw how strong they were. He fit into that system perfectly. I mean, this is a Toronto Ultra that's placed 5th all year, gotten a couple top 3s. Like in the past couple 3 years, they've usually been good for 1 win, at least throughout the entirety of the season. So this Toronto Ultra team, or Movie Star Koi, is not to be sneezed at. They're still one of the top contenders, and they were just missing that extra little bit of firepower and consistency. And I feel like with this addition of Abe, it really helps free Joe on the map. And
اللي يشوف لقطاتهم يقول اللعبة سهلة.
And I'm looking at the highlights here. How does Joe find that flow state, and is that the best hardpoint performance we've seen on the day?
Yeah, that's the best hardpoint performance on the weekend, I'd say. I mean, Joe literally popped Takeover. I mean, Vault's a map that they have loved all year long, and, Ali mentioned it, like, the swapping Kleenex towards the AR and bringing in a guy like Abe, like everybody is just willing to play at that faster pace. And when that happens and you're able to put teams in the blender, Joe is going to go on these massive streaks. But I think more importantly, what's changed is Search and Destroy. They literally could not win with the last 2 iterations of the roster. It has been so bad. You bring in Abe and he was making massive plays. You saw a couple of the retakes that they had on lower computers where Abe will just go in first and then they can just trade in off that information. So I think he's changed the dynamic there and for the better.
I also want to give a big shout out to Flux. He has been a long-time Call of Duty pro. He has been the coach behind this Movie Star Koi squad.
What's up, big dog?
And I want to know if he told Joe to bring out the AR in that final round of Search and Destroy, because you saw the first pick on Craze. That's all they needed. That blood led to the round 11 and then eventually the 3-0. We are joined by a very special guest right now, and I guess we can ask that question to him live. Toby, a.k.a. Kleenex, our post-match monster. Toby, this
باقي في مباريات ولا خلاص؟
go at least game 4, a game 5. How are you able to walk away with a convincing win?
Honestly, I think it's just the S&D. I think we knew we were a stronger team in the respawns. I think S&D's been what we've been working on for the past 2-3 weeks. And I mean, they're a strong S&D team, bunch of S&D players. So shut them out now and we'll win 3-0.
والله شاط.
They forced it round 11, but you guys seem to have the counter-strat going in. Did you have the read right away, or whose call was it to pull out the AR down low?
Honestly, it was mostly Joe just telling us to like shut down the A play. pretty much every round because we knew Krace was going to try to do something absolutely absurd on the map. So just shut him down and we win the map.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, throughout this tournament, we've seen just a different dynamic of you guys, especially in those search and destroys. Like, in that one, you guys were hard playing for Krace. He got blooded 5 times in that map. So is that something from VOD, or you guys just trying to, like, make sure nobody slips through any gaps? Because in the last 2 months, that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's kind of an advantage, like, getting Abe in. He's played them quite a bit in challenges, and I think instantly he just knew what that guy was going to do on the map. Pretty much called exactly what he was going to do.
لا يا ياسر باقي له بكره ترى.
Well, there's that.
بكره ايش؟ بكره احد.
Great call.
He's played them quite a few times, so.
Staying on that topic,
اليوم
search
سبت.
and destroy, because that's probably been
تنتهي
also
بكره يا
to
ياسر.
this event.
بس ما
Naturally,
ادري هل اليوم خلصت
Specifically
كلها.
though, when you guys do well, it's typically Joe.
امس يا رجال اللي يلعبون الساعة 1.
It was you. How have you been approaching search and destroy differently? Because that was an unbelievable performance in map 2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, S&D before I felt a little uncomfortable making the plays. I think having Jamie just be that kind of backline, I think we kind of put Ben on that role early on in the year, and I think Jamie just fits so well. Just lets me do whatever I want on the map. AR sub.
The original duo.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard Joe allude to it a little bit, like the pacing change. Like, that was an issue for you guys when you play the top teams in Respawn. With you now being able to just pull out the sub, pull out the AR at will, like, how does that change the dynamic for you guys? Because I would imagine, after playing with Insight for so many years, you know exactly what he needs as an AR. Is that a conscious thought?
Honestly, I could tell he was uncomfortable for most of the year. I think just by 2 weeks of scrims, we got a lot better just by me running the AR. I think the role's pretty natural for me. I think whatever needs to be done, I'm there to do it now. And I think previous years I wasn't really comfortable changing up my role, but I think I kind of know what he needs, and yeah, I'm putting on some pace. So
definitely do.
It looks like you guys can do whatever you want and find success. Let's take a look, though, at this bracket, because we have 5 teams left in the competition, 2 of them about to face off for the final spot in the semifinal. But we know your opponent. Movie Star Koi will play Vancouver Surge tomorrow for a spot in the
حلو باقي اوبتيك و 100.
Honestly, I feel pretty good.
حلو.
I think before the event started, we were kind of
يعني
going into
بتكون مباراة
an
حلوة.
idea of like a revenge tour. So
يا عمري يا
to
شيخ.
get the rematch against Surge. I think we have lost to them quite a bit, struggled a bit throughout the year. So good to.
What has it been in that matchup specifically? Because when I looked at it, it was always you guys were 2 of the top 4 hardpoint teams, and they would just edge you out there. So in your eyes, what do you think is the issue?
I think when it came down to the big moments, we always lost like 250, 247, insane hard points. And I think it's kind of to do with their teamwork. They're a kind of different team compared to every other team. They have Neptune just doing his thing, 0-4 taking some weird routes. And honestly, it just catches you off guard sometimes. But I feel like we're getting used to it. So.
And speaking of different teams, tell us about the addition of Abe and kind of what y'all talked about, what you were hoping he would bring
what
to
you
the
saw
team,
in him.
what you saw in him, and also if you think because other teams haven't had a lot of scrims against you now with this newer roster, if that has given you guys a little bit of an edge against some of the comp.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it catches people off guard seeing me on the AR. Don't really expect that, but I mean, the guy plays like he's been in the league for 5 years. He's got some crazy discipline for a 20-year-old guy, and honestly, I think that was what we saw at first. Joe's insanely cracked, and he just needs to balance it out, and that's what he's been doing. It's amazing.
Kleenex, final question for you. Last year, we saw you guys competing in the Toronto Ultra. This year, you team up with Movie Star Koi. What is it like to have the international fan base? I was talking to a guy from Prague. He's like, I had to fly down to watch these boys play live.
I mean, honestly, I'm European myself, so it's good to finally get some European representation. Obviously, it's the Spanish, and I mean, they're insanely passionate. And
اتوقع باقي مباريتين يا ياسر. باقي مباريتين قوية. لو تلاحظ قبل شوي في الشريط في الجدول كانوا 4 صفت على 1 واللي فوق باقي مباراة تصفى على 1. فهمت؟ باقي اوبتيك هو 100 وبعدها اللي فوق ضد اللي تحت نفس الترتيب. ان شاء الله فهمت علي. لازم يوم الأحد تتكسر كل المثلثات لازم، لأنها التصفيات يوم الأحد. يو يا المباراة يا عيال، يو يا المباراة يا عيال. لا يا بقى مباراة واحدة. اتوقع بيخلص مباريات اليوم الساعة 12. هو بقى مباراة اتوقع، هي مباراة واحدة كل يوم 4. المباراة ذي مطول يا ولد. جو يا جو. توقعاتكم يا عيال؟ لا المباراة قوية مرة. كويس اني لحقت عليها والله.
Has passed you. You know, you was playing until late hours on day 1, but did you get your rest on day 2?
Yeah, I found a strat. I'm not going to reveal it just yet because, you know, we're still in the tournament.
وعليكم السلام
والرحمة. Amazing, honestly.
You got all kind of secret strats, I'm pretty sure. But talk to me about whatever strats you can in the strategy going up against 100 Thieves, because a single elimination, you win 3, you're an EWC champion, okay? Some back-to-back stuff. How y'all plan on getting it done?
Honestly, just sticking to what we've been doing in practice. I feel like, honestly, what we've been doing is kind of just consistent. As long as we stick to our game plan, trust each other, I feel like we're the best 4 players in the game right now, and just do us, and we'll get it done.
Hey, it's as simple as that, okay? You guys are world champions in your own right. And, you know,
back to back.
Right? Ready to go to back to back. And what do you want to say to the Green Wall fans out there? Because I know it's some in the venue. They everywhere. We got a crowd all around us, and it's a bunch in the chat. What you want to say to them?
أبث CDL كود وأبث دوري الصناع المدفوع.
We appreciate you guys for watching, always supporting the boys, and it should be a good one.
It's going to be a good one, y'all. Don't go nowhere.
Big shout out to the Green Wall and Scump and everyone doing the watch parties back at home. Thank you for waking up early to join us here. But we got to talk about the opposition, because 100 Thieves was built to take down Optic. They were built to take down FaZe and the other juggernauts of the league. Have they accomplished that goal?
Yes, I mean, they won 2 championships, right? By all means, it has been an incredible year. But, you know, you think about this team and kind of the tail end of their season, you thought they were going to continue that momentum and just dominate these last couple of tournaments, but they have fallen off. I mean, they went from being the golden standard in control to where their control has been nowhere close to what it was to start the season. And you think about some of the individuals, Envoy having some off performances, Ghosty in Search and Destroy has dropped the ball, right? So things seem to be falling off the tracks here, but this is a massive opportunity.
It is a massive opportunity, but the biggest thing that worries me is, yes, 100 Thieves does technically have a little bit of an edge in this matchup when you look at the overall of the year, but this is a different LA Thieves than what we have seen previously. They are getting blooded in Search and Destroy like no tomorrow. They're one of the worst in the building over the weekend, and they're clutching up, sure, because the talent on this roster is unbelievable, but something has to click in them. They have to be on the same page, because for me, this past couple of days, it looks like they have been 4 solo players playing on that map.
All of these players comfortable under the lights, but none as loud as Scrap. We talked to him before the match.
What's up, y'all? I'm here with the one and only Scrap of 100 Thieves as he is getting ready to play a big-time matchup. But before we get into that, Scrap, y'all been playing every single day since y'all got out here, all right? And that's not what y'all wanted. But what have y'all learned over the last 2 days?
يمكن نبث فيفا.
Yeah, so I think when we played Seattle, we had a few mistakes in hardpoint. You know, we were playing good throughout the whole map, but I think when it came down to the big moments, we kind of, you know, shied away, kind of crumbled a little bit, which really isn't like us.
Yeah.
So I think recently we've been playing together more, just tighten up when we need to, and it's been showing like yesterday did.
There you go, okay? Because this do or die.
يعني أغلب الألعاب ما.
This is 3 games away, but your next opponent are the most recent champions, all right? The big dogs. How do you plan on taking this team down? Because you know they on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah, of course. You know, Optic's been playing their best COD all year. I think with us, we're just getting better and better as the tournament goes on. I think a big thing for us, as long as we're playing together, no matter what the other team's doing, we're going to come out on top. So I'm super excited to play them.
All right, right now, it's more than 100. It's thousands of Thieves out there watching y'all, okay? Talk to them, give them a message. What you want them to know as you guys get ready to go into the series.
Yeah, no, shout out to Thieves fans. We appreciate you guys all over the world. Appreciate everyone here in Saudi. Just keep the hype up for us. We're going to keep coming the energy on stage, and I appreciate you guys.
You heard it here from us, folks. We'll see you soon.
Scrap ready to bring the hype, and we are excited for this showdown. He is known as one of the greatest ARs to grace the game, but on the other side of the fight, you have one of the most aggressive SMGs in Hook. Here's the showdown. When we look at the numbers, how does it break down now? It's two different roles, but both need to have a serious impact in this series.
Yeah, two very different roles, so the numbers are going to look a little bit different for both these players, but I think the biggest notable point is that they're both very impactful. Hook has been unbelievable the past 60 days when it comes to Optic Texas's success. If Hook is playing well, Optic is steamrolling teams, similar to Miami Heretics and when Metals is doing well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hook has been a phenomenal difference for this team. There's something about when he's playing well, regardless, on any roster he's ever been on. A huge X factor, and he's certainly being that for Optic right now.
I'm looking at the maps. I see Skyline. We are getting fast and furious right out of the gates.
Rewind.
I gotta get the predictions, fam. With a minute to go, Nameless, take your time. Skyline, Rewind, Hacienda. Who's leading through three?
Skyline.
I think Optic. And I think Optic have potential to close this out in 3, honestly. I mean, Optic have been playing perfect Call of Duty, and think about the last time these guys played. It was at Stage 4, and you look at it, Thieves did win, but the Skyline went Optic's way. This is a better version of that Optic team with more time. You think about the control as well. Optic are the best control team in the world. They get done.
I'm with Nameless on this one. I think this is 3
الحين ما
Optic.
فهمت
That map
بدأت
set
ولا
really
ما
suits them. They've been
بدأت.
fantastic on Skyline.
لا ما بدأت باقي.
I
شويات وتبدأ ياسر.
Hook and Shotzi have been so comfortable. That map set screams SMG Central. I'm going Optic.
Where you going, Chris? Come on.
شويات وتبدأ
I was
ياسر.
gonna go Optic because they had the clean run, but LA Thieves have had the tougher road. They had to go through Vancouver. I think they're more prepared coming into the final match. I think it's LA Thieves pulling it out in 4.
Whoa.
Am I wrong? Jad agrees. Let's find out as we send it to the stage.
الحين بدت.
One more quarter final. One last golden ticket to the semis. And it is between 2 of the biggest brands in the game.
Look, a legacy is built on dominance. A fan base is built on faith. The world champions, they've been here time and time again. But this time, they have to earn it.
Nothing is granted. Everything is earned here in Riyadh, and their opponents are built to win. This time, they are determined to take this trophy home with them. The reality is, one of these 2 juggernauts has got to go.
2 powerhouses, 1 final showdown. Ian, let's fucking get into it.
Let's absolutely get into it. They were pressure like a jersey. The green wall stands tall. It's Optic!
شوف يا بن اوبتيك يا فيز. واحد منهم. ولا ارجح فيز. اذا بيفوزون اوبتيك والله عشان شوتزي فارق في اوبتيك والله.
Dripping with confidence, built to deliver. It's 100 Thieves!
Securing that last spot. It's a big time battle between 2 beasts of the scene. Here we go.
هذا النهائي المبكر يا عيال.
There's a lot of reputation built up on both of these two squads. The folklore now coming into Riyadh. And whether you're living with the green or you're seeing red, whether you're a lover or you're a hater, you've got Optic, you've got Thieves, and you've got one spot to fight for.
A battle of the juggernauts. Everyone around the world, even if this is your first day watching Call of Duty, you know who these guys are. It's going to be non-stop action from beginning to the end. They matched up at Major 4, but that was a different version of Optic. They go 3 weeks, get the champs, and basically look unbeatable. But for Thieves, they are looking for redemption to potentially be the best team in Black Ops 6.
And you heard it from Scrap in the interview with Blaze. They feel like they're progressing, getting better throughout this tournament. And you think back to the history these two squads have, as limited as it is rather recent. All the way down towards Major 4. That was, again, a very short pickup when Merc was the picture. To be fair, he did not perform to the same level that we saw as a Champs MVP. A lot of maps are also going to be repeated in this particular series, starting off with the Skyline Hardpoint, which was the initiator when they played at Major 4. Optic won it, but it was a tight one. I'm expecting some chaos early here, Jay.
A 13-point Skyline, a 2-round Search and Destroy, a 1-round difference in the control, and then the vote was a smoke show. But when you looked at the maps, you already seen that this version of 100 Thieves does not want to play against that version of Optic on the other side on that map with their recent form. This is going to be an absolute cinema of a series. Let's just get it going.
سكايلاين يعني بتشوف تبليك اسوان، بتشوف فايتات لا نهائية، بتشوف اشياء اسطورية في سكايلاين.
The dreams, the hopes, the aspirations of being a team that could take 2 major championships in back-to-back form, something we have not seen ever, could potentially be gracing us. Let's talk a little bit more because it looks like we are going to get a lobby restart here. Again, the history between these two teams is limited, but some of the major narratives around this. Thieves have dominated both the search and destroy and control. A total of a 6-1 map count in favor of Thieves there. So that has to be better, you think, for Optic.
Yeah, but Control is a totally different game mode now. With the new updated spawns, you even heard Hydra in his interview yesterday. They have yet to truly figure out to put themselves back into that dominant form like they once were all season long. And Nameless said it. Optic currently are the best Control team in the game. They can do no wrong. You have playmakers from left to right. The versions of Shotzi and Hook, as of recent, are undeniable. But the same thing could be said for Hydra on the other end. Envoy, though, that's a guy who has been very vocal on his ups and downs so far in this weekend. He needs to show up in the biggest moment.
So are you looking at the Hacienda Control to potentially dictate the outcome of the series?
That's the only map for me that I'm focused on.
Wow. Big news right there. And I think there's a lot of I think just general respect about the map. Optic, it was a linchpin for their success in their run in Kitchener, whereas for Thieves, they've gotten 2 reps in it here in Riyadh, mixing the results versus Gentlemates, a map 5 win, or round 5 win, the first time they played in the opening group matchup, but a round 5 loss when they had played a second time back in the actual match that got them qualified here to get into this playoff spot in the first place. So, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, because you look over the course of Hacienda, it has been a map that, honestly, for Thieves, they had not really used a lot. It was a lot of Vault, kind of getting them through the majority of the year, but obviously a lot of teams have stepped away from Vault as of the end of the year, and now with the new patch, Protocol has been kind of the one that they've been kicking out.
Yeah, Protocol is just like the easiest map to still understand. No major changes happened on that one. You do not want to waste a lot of time trying to locate where these aggressive nuisance SMG players are going to be, because they're consistently going to be behind you. As you can see, Ghosty honing in, locking in, preparing for this series. Communication needs to be on point. Energy needs to be at the highest level here in the last
ما في حد يتفاعل معه، فهمت؟
Final quarterfinals.
ما الشات واقف.
Make it the championship Sunday is about to
تتفاعل مع نفسي. ما يجي. الناس اللي تتفاعل، اللي تشوفها تتفاعل، البث ما شاء الله عنده ما يوقف.
It's do or die time for both of these major squads, 2 of the biggest brands in Call of Duty esports, squaring off with round 1 on Skyline. Let's get it on.
We're going to have these already Investing a lot of nades over the top. They're preparing for an aggressive push in towards Jim. Scrap opens up the first one instantly on the top.
Yeah, something that we've seen from teams a lot in the history of them playing this map. Get that
high
ground control. Get Envoy into the hard point early, but it's read beautifully by Shotzi.
شوتزي ما خلى حد لا خويه ولا اللي ضده كلهم.
Mission accomplished for Optic. They get the players out of the hard point and
عليه كول
they
عليه
also
كول.
control spawns.
Now we got to get him out the objective.
يا عمري يا داشي. عزيز خويك يا داشي يا عمري يا شيخ. كيتشن.
In the kill feed. Thieves now have to approach through kitchen side.
يا عمري يا شيخ.
The other AR is locking that down as well.
داشي.
Shotzi has yet to fall. Eventually will. But 17 seconds off of P1 with map control, you will take it.
Great shots from Dashi. Keeps the hard point relatively contested. Thieves have worked their way back in and now trying to make a next move over towards P. They actually will spawn Hook all the way out. So every kill an important
هذاك
one.
ما واجهه ذاك ذكي.
3v4
راح
essentially
ورا.
on the left
شفت؟
side of the map.
هايدرا والله هايدرا ذكي يا
Able to find one. Hook not able to fully get into the play yet, but is on the way rapidly. Hard point open. Spawn still contested, but Dashi does spawn up. Critical moment for Optic for an early. Optic gaming, listen in.
Maybe helping right. They have to go low. They have to go low catches. On top right. In the back. Watch out. Absolute envoy. He's still there. Yeah. Two back there. Two back right. Nice envoy there too. Envoy there too in the back. We're gonna spawn out.
Piano hop.
يا عمري داشي. يا عمري يا داشي ثلاثة يا عيال. خويا وينهم؟
I don't see him behind the desk. Top right.
تأخر ذا. من هو ذا؟ داشي تأخرت في تعزيز خويك. أنا أشوف الناس تدخل بث
They love underground. Scrap front. Someone pick up underground. One's gonna hit underground. Go back. I'm looking underground. What's up, Pat? Let's go pitch. Turn. Nice. No one, outer. Hold on, I'll be helping a second.
لا أبشر مالك لا تدفع في البث يا قلبي.
You go see it. Behind the bar got me.
Yo, they're hitting front.
Yo, Paco's hitting front. What's hitting front?
Two front on top. Two on top.
He's on the table, he's on the bar.
Burning dead, another one.
يا أخي عزز الشوت يا مسلم. ما يدخل الحالة.
Shot out together. Nice. One more.
يعني.
I gave up P1.
يا ما في حد يلعب SMG غيره.
P1.
Give me. Nothing front.
يا عمري. لا ضيعت
a little bit of trouble there over P2. You hear them for the early call to make the rotation over to P3, but honestly, Scrap has had an electric start, 12 and 6J.
A perfect start there from Scrap. He knows that this is a big time moment. Thieves currently have a little bit of a lead, but it does not matter. Optic got it right back. Let's step aside and go to a Bravia listening with 100 T.
One of it. Nice. Two on ult to me. I need to back up. Pushing you. Heard you. Two on time. On the bar. Shotzi shot left side. Nice. Top mid. Dead. Outer. Nice job. One more outer.
On the bar.
هيدرا.
On the bar right now. And then their side.
إيه مكاي.
Deep patio as well. I got to live. We can hold. One shot per tunnel. Burst to the back. Inner dead. Two in the back. One is patio to ton. And one deep umbrella.
Right.
Deep right dead. One more time.
لا.
Yo, 1P1 one time.
In
rugs right now. Still rugs.
يا عيال اوبتيك افضل.
Still rugs. I think we're under.
صح انا باقي لسه بس اوبتيك افضل يا عيال. مبدئيا يعني. يا عمري يا داشي.
This guy's gonna be kitched to a pretty sure. Take her time. Low bed, dead. One wood, low bed. Yo, wood, low bed.
The listen curse right there is out to turn things around. Try as
يا عمري يا شوجي والله مسحها. مسحها ومدمج بعد.
The communication sounds like where you're not finding success on the break. The fact that Optic, even in the man down situation, at every single angle cut off, this is just a different form and a different beast. A 50, almost 60-point lead at the end of the first set of all the hard points. One player from Thieves already spawning all the way across the map. If you're Optic, you want to maintain mid.
The big story again, just on the macro level, we talked about how Hercules did this head-to-head before. Not the case here in the back half of this first set of rotations, already having earned the Hellstorm missile and a 14, make it 15 and 10. He's also found a lot of hardpoint time, so Optic really turning up since P4.
Oh yeah, they're putting pedal to the metal right now. An 80-point difference. Mercules is hitting long routes. You're not going to be able to read this. The young gun.
يو خلص طلقة يا عيال.
But he gives the comp to his teammates. Last two players up top. Dashi, that's a free double. We have a 100-point lead. Let's continue to dominate.
Looking good so far. Hydra trying to hit a long route, but none of his teammates are able to get over towards midside pool, and so it's just on the Hydra. And wow, that was
قلب عليه هايدرا. والله هايدرا يلعب. والله يا عيال هايدرا يلعب والله.
To get Thieves going. Why not him? Why not now as Hydra goes into a three-piece. Mercules on an island, gonna get overwhelmed, and an opportunity for Thieves to set themselves up for P2.
Missile earned though on the side of Mercules, and now a 100-point difference. Thieves need a solid hold here at a money hill. Already pressure through kitchen, pressure through top hallway. 2 of those kills go down, but you're gonna spawn real tight towards your teammates. Optic are still here to try to contest.
Stotzi tried to find some sort of a pinch run back to the hard point, but that is completely shut down. Thieves able to get this thing closer and closer to the 100-point mark. And boy, I'll tell you what, they're in a little bit of a lifeline situation here over P2. They need Ghosty to start showing up. 7 and 17, not going to cut it with how hot Optic are looking right now.
But so far, this has been a flawless hold. The response they needed to have after a desperate P4 and P1 chain from Optic. They have such a comfortable lead. There's no need to give up any free junk time. You're overwhelmed them in the hard point. Ghosty's starting to show some life here on 3 in a row, but the break is good for Optic.
12 seconds of scrap time. And honestly, I think Thieves are saying we'll give this one more kind of finesse exit hit, but largely speaking, we should be looking pretty comfortable on rotation, but not going to happen. Shotzi gets too quickly. Hook has the isolated 1v1 battle. Kind of a tug-of-war form right over the top of the kitchen.
All Dashy's trying to do is just play, keep away until the teammates get into the play. Shotzi is now in the position. Another 3-piece in the feed for the green wall. The score continues to grow even bigger. Another 100-point lead. Thieves need to stop the bleeding. They need a break.
Yeah, and they're taking a long route up towards the upper echelons of the hallways. This is a long commitment that's starting to come through. Dropping down into mid-map to cut the car off. Spashy on 4. Nearly able to finish off Envoy, but enough damage tallied for the rest of the teammates have opted to clean that up nicely. And this has been nothing but green wall. Mercules for 3. Hook, I think, has a read that the 4th is around the corner. Merc right there waiting to try to clean up all of Thieves by himself. And yep, here an opportunity for it, but Thieves able to break back in and likely get past the 100-point club mark.
This is where you got to go. You got to be aggressive. The only player back here is going to be Dashy, so you have a chance. Potentially lock down this P4, but Optic are more than happy to take this final 10 because they have the cruise missile in the back pocket. Already one player from Thieves spawning out. Not a single player on Optic. Pushed up in an aggressive angle to give them positions. Potentially block those back spawns, so Thieves withstand that. Now they got hold.
26
Trying to wait to try to set up sort of a pinch with the teammates from the front, but now Hook, the last one standing. And the trades are good for Thieves. Shotzi from the front. Just trying to hold his life. One player actually spawns way out for 100 Thieves. A bit surprising.
There's maybe an opportunity for
Optic to play through bedroom.
Time
Shotzi low and Dashy taking down Mercules. Thieves will try to reestablish the control over the hard point, but they just walk on in. Optic just take a couple of steps on forward, and now an opportunity for them to put this game out of reach.
Players from Thieves all the way across the map. You can't get near the hard point. Optic are just in a different form. These last 2 months only need 10 seconds to take map number 1.
Casual stuff here from Optic. Not the chaos that we've seen over the course of Skyline.
يا داشي يا داشي بفرد داشي بفرد لو شال هذا لو شال هذا يا احد باللعب.
That is unbelievable. We're talking about on the entire season, the best hardpoint team almost gets 100.
ما شاء الله والمستوى يا عيال.
Last time it was a 13-point difference. Shotzi said, I don't know what the hell they're doing on that side, but they are in prime form, looking unbeatable at the moment, up 1-0 in the series.
And it just starts from the get-go, man. I mean, you do get an opener from Scrap that says, whoa, hold on a second, but the thing about it is Hook's just picking up where he had left off, not just at champs, but also over the course of the first couple of matches that Optic have played. And with Ghosty not being a factor, Hydra finishing negative, you see those two things happen, and it just turns into an Optic snowball.
It's because you're consistently playing from the back foot. Optic are slaying with the fundamentals in play. The only time Thieves were able to get a good chunk of time was for the second rotation at P2. Other than that, everything else was all in favor of Optic. You dominate the P4s, you dominate your rotations, and at the end of the first set, when you go from that P1 to the P4 to P1 chain, and you blow the game by a 100-point lead, it's just very difficult to come back on a map like Skyline. We almost seen it from FaZe Clan this weekend. Optic said not a chance today in hell. Quickly up 1-0 in this series. Feeling as
لا بكره نص النهائي والنهائي بكره.
Looking across the stage saying, you guys good over there? Like, have you loaded in yet?
اتوقع والله اعلم. بقى فيز
seems to think that Thieves are coming out
فيز بيلعب بكره.
16 and 23 from Hydra, 14 and 22 from Ghosty.
It's not what you want to see from those two in particular. We're on the other side. It's just, again, the Hook and the Merc show.
And this is a difference.
بيبين الجدول بجل المباراة هذه.
The assists are not out of this world. Everyone on the side of the green wall were just winning their one-on-ones. And when they needed to pop a miraculous two-piece, they were able to get it done. So now Thieves need to have a response in the search and destroy. We've heard talks about Optic the past couple of weeks in practice. Boston said they haven't been able to beat them in a map in a month. This form, I don't think I've ever seen as high of a level of Call of Duty be played, and they're finding it at the right time.
All right, well, let's pump the brakes and take a bit of a breath here, because now we start to look at Search and Destroy, and a rewind in particular that has been really unbelievable for the side of Thieves. They have been great. They've only dropped at a single time over the course of the season, whereas Optic have really not played it a lot, just 2-2 overall on it. Still finding a lot of success in the first blood, and I think the biggest thing about this is, again, you take a look at just how their Search and Destroy has developed over the course of Champs into this weekend. It's been flawless. They've been really, really solid across every map.
It's just insane because it's all about them just valuing their lives in certain situations. Hook puts himself in a good corner. He's not going to ego chow. He's waiting for a teammate to assist him in a play or gain some information before he decides to make something happen. Those are the young men right there on your screen. Shotzi, who's just a game breaker, man. You allow this guy to get lost. You allow him to be the playmaker. You are not going to have a good time. So on the opposite side for Thieves, this is usually Hydra's playground. He needs to be able to be the response here, especially with the pressure that he likes to apply over towards Burger Town. He's the island player. If he can find success, this should be an easy one for Thieves.
I feel like you kind of need a convincing result after what we just saw in map number 1. So Coach Sender going to give him the last final words of wisdom, reestablish a couple of protocols.
هم اللي يطولون بين
الجيمين. Locked in and ready to go, not overthinking this. Just say, hey, let's just throw that first map away mentally and just get ourselves ready to go on what should be one of their best search and destroys. Just to kind of speak to it, they have played it against Vancouver most recently. That was a round 10 win. They've also beat FaZe there in another round 10 win. So that's over the course of the last 60 days or so. But this has been a map that since it's been re-added into the pool, it's been a staple for them. So you feel like as a Thieves fan, you have to have map 2 here.
For Thieves starting off on the attack. Going for the 3-1 split. Obviously, Ghosty has to play for the information through Burger. They're already taking a lot of space.
That's almost a counterplay right there. Saying we know they like to play Burger. I'll just double chow that out immediately, then just cut back through mid. Should have been seen by Ghosty at the front door. Scrap, yep, he's going to transmit that information and turn it into what should be a double. Ghosty finishes off the damage and that'll lead to a very comfortable Thieves round, most likely, unless Dashy's got something to say in the 1v4. No exit there, so perfect read, response, and reaction from Thieves.
I'm curious if Ghosty was able to
كيف تخلي شكلها بيقدم كذا
towards Burger, because they got a heads-up play. When you peek through mid-hole, you're expecting at least one AR to watch from long distance, but Scrap challenges at the right time. It's the first blood. Teammate gets the trade. The only player that falls is going to be one on the side of the Thieves. It's a very clean, dominant round there to open up this S&D.
And that felt like a countering the counter right there from Thieves. So we'll see what Optic can muster on their first offensive effort. Is there going to be a lot of focus over towards Burger? Because as you called, here's Scrap already playing inside the diner, but it's an opening nade and shot combination from Hydra to take Mercules out early for a very quick 4v3.
Now this changes everything on the round for Optic. He was your safety net to make sure no one was working on the pinch. Able to find the equalizer onto Envoy. Dashy gains information on at least one player, but he just wants to get out.
Yeah, that should be seen though. That track retreat. Hydra's going to hold on over and Scraps actually see if he can catch Dashy. Fall back, but Hydra provides the trade, so we'll stay 2v2 with 52 on the clock.
Shotzi and Hook trying to take their sweet time in this approach. Hook's just waiting for Shotzi to take a little bit more ground at the middle of the map, but he is going to be spotted. Great angle there from Hydra.
That's information. Ghosty trying to see if maybe he can follow up to catch Shotzi on either a commitment back or if a commitment he's going to stay over towards Dumpster. I don't believe he saw him crossing back over towards DVD though.
And keep in mind, both players from the Thieves have ARs in hand.
Yeah.
So if you are Optic, just put yourself in a position up close and personal to give yourself the advantage.
Hydra's on 4 in a row, already has the RC, but
شوف 100 يمشون مع بعض وتيم اوبتيك يمشون مع بعض. شوف الخريطة تحت الشر.
And there's going to be some
بيجي الفايت الحين بيجي الفايت.
as they recheck from shelves. Hydra first one.
لا يا
shots now 5 in a row, just immediately going to hop on towards it.
لا لا لا.
How does Hook want to try to play this? Actually, no. Hydra's not going to commit for the defuse. This gives Hook a little bit more time to play with here off the backside of this pinch. Could he finally come back over and take this down? Finds the first cleanly, steps away, 7 seconds on the clock. You got to go. Shots are through. Ghosty comes up big, but unfortunately,
يو يا تايم هيوك يا عيال.
So it's going to be a 1v2 clutch up and Optic get on the board.
Right there, that was Hydra just trying to use a little bit of
يو يا تايم هيوك يا عيال.
He's thinking as soon as Shotzi watches that kill cam, he's potentially going to hop that bomb, but Hook plays it to perfection. Stalls out the game clock, only needs 1 kill. Secure the round there for Optic, and a man disadvantage, they tie the game.
Perfectly reset, and yeah, have to make sure he hasn't hopped it on for the defuse. Perfectly played by Hook. So 1-1 count, nades over the top here for the defense as Thieves are gonna try to dive on in towards Laundry here. Hook try to beat the timing by getting to shelves and Elephant quickly. Opening trade gets us to another 3v3, bomb down over towards Hole.
I don't know if Optic are going to have that information if the bomb is going to be down, but
والله
the teamwork
قوية
is going
والله
to be
ما
on display.
بسطرية.
Everyone rallying through B Street. A couple shots go down from Scrap. Everyone sending it now.
A little bit of team damage on the Dashy. They can't fully
ما يدرون
follow
عن
up
ذا.
on Scrap's low health pool. And Hydra, wow, is going to make his way over towards Burger as Scrap rechallenges the same angle and eliminates Mercules in the blink of an eye.
ميركليس ترى ايم بلا سولت ما هو بذاكر.
Everyone rallied together. Hydra already
صح يسوي اللي عليه وزيادة. بس مو نفس شوت زي.
Scrap's not going to give it up. Gets the info. Shoulder, shoulder, a little jumpy jump. Now this is where we work the objective.
Big win from Hook. Puts a little bit of pressure on this A bomb site. And Dashy will link up with it.
No, يا هوك التايم. داشي.
Read from 100 Thieves and Hydra again with the AR.
يفعلون بيها داشي.
So it's just down to Dashy. One of the most clutch players in Search and Destroy this year. 1v2, but this is going to be a difficult one with the plant going at B.
Captain Clutch pulls something out of nothing. Already has found one on the round. But it's a perfect post-plant setup. Everything is covered for Thieves.
Has to beam one. Ghosty just going to hide, but I think his feet have been seen. Opening shots to Ghosty, clean, but not clean enough. The team shots right there to respond to the play. And how did Thieves keep this an all-offensive affair?
And again, Thieves on the offense were just prepared for what Optic were going to throw at them. That time it was a pace change-up, aggressive through mid-DVD. You strike for the first blood. You had the early man advantage because Scrap commits over towards B Street. Once that bomb gets planted,
والله ايمهم خوف.
No tax in the back pocket for Big Brucey. And a perfect post-plant setup allows Thieves to take a slight lead.
See what we can do next time around. Mercules going back to that same angle where he had been car bombed out of. This time though, Thieves is going to stack the box right in front of Courtyard and Glass. Hydra's going to step up towards shelves and it's an aggressive defensive setup, largely focused on A.
Yeah, Hydra just has them on their toes. Last round he runs an AR, plays long distance. This time he's already pushed up on your DVDs. So Optic need to have a slow and steady approach to this round, but you're going to walk right into the preamble Taco for the first blood.
Gets out, here's the door pop, and we'll see Hook for just a brief moment, but most importantly for Thieves, it's a 4v3, and Scrap is still in a very cheeky spot. Nades coming up over the top. Yep, and that's just an instant call to pop on up. Trade will be there, 3v2, but Envoy with an AR will lock down street side, leaving Dashy once again by himself.
1v3 for Dashy, already going to be spotted. Wins the gunfight there versus Hydra, but too many people still alive on the side of the Thieves. Get the trade, close out the round, 2 in a row now, 3-1.
Throws consideration now to what Optic need to do.
نهائي اتوقع انه بكره نهائي.
And like you mentioned, just
ما اتوقع هذا النهائي.
what does Hydra want to use weapon-wise? This keeps this 100 Thieves really at both sides about keeps it a mystery in terms of are they actually playing aggressive? It's just so tough to tell. So we'll see if Optic can try to turn the chessboard back in their favor here at this next attack.
باقي فيز.
Next defense. Beg your pardon.
لازم يلعب فيز.
Nade's not really going to land too much. Envoy tossing one to see if it connects over towards Courtyard. Will find the trophy system, but Hook meanwhile has gotten one. And look at the quick play starting to develop here from Shotzi. He's going to find the second.
Yeah, you just don't expect that to be the case if you are Ghosty. You had Hydra watching mid-street, but Shotzi, mission impossible, making it look very, very easy. The utmost confidence to just sprint right up the middle of the map. Put yourself in blue, and it also helps when Hook finds that first blood. Just sets him up for a free double. Able to stop the bleeding. The adjustments came in. Optic now down 1.
Yeah, and Hook finding that first blood towards Street in particular is what makes that call for Shotzzy so simple. You get the kill, plus you also get the information there's another one there. You thread the needle, and then this just what you expect from the movement god, making it look easy, bouncing from object to object. And so we get back to within 1. Optic now on their next attack, and it's a very similar setup once again.
Mercules is going to delay, push over towards the street. Last time he got first blood by a nade.
Love this call.
The tempo. 4v4 retake now.
Yeah, if we don't see Hydra on the inside of shelves, we know he's likely running an AR or at least push back. Let's just go ahead and get the plant down. And Shotzzy will be the vanguard of this post-plant defense. Switching back and forth between the alley and the generators. Hook just trying to look for information, jumping over DVD. Semtex out. Thieves now have to make their call. They've got street control. Can they find a way to break in through the front of the map? Hook able to get away. That's huge. Now over to Shotzzy's direction. He's been pushed back. Can you have anything to actually contest the bomb? They don't know if anyone's on it or not. So Envoy finds first blood. Ghosty a second. And Thieves post-plant clean on the retake.
That was absolutely stunning there from 100T. Because you're thinking, 25 seconds already go down. We gained information that they're mid-street. But most likely, they don't have an angle to get that kill. So someone is most likely going to be working that defuse, but when you go to check it, they were prepared for that play. A great heads-up call because the majority of them had ARs. You needed them to walk into you for you to have the advantage. So Thieves now up by 2.
Beautiful stuff. And that little bit of like a narrative change about Mercules on street side is becoming a vulnerability for Optic on offense. Thieves have taken advantage. After, again, it was just the first round. They found first blood on him, and it really hasn't been a factor since, at least not in that position. Quick play here, Envoy bursting through doors at generators. Defensive stuns to get the early check. Shotzzy just a little peek over towards Elephant, and he'll back down. We'll stay 4v4.
Whoa! The Shotzzy with the play catches the timing on the Envoy for the first blood. Hydra drops through mid-street. 4v2. Optic cannot let this one go.
No. And for Thieves, they are a bit stuck around Laundry and the front doors at A. Looks like Scrap may want to try to re-clear out this angle that Mercules has been watching. The shoulder will confirm he's still there. And if you're Optic, they're actually going to allow this plant to come through 4v2. Play the numbers.
Of course. Who cares? 4v2, all we have to do is play a trade out. Someone eventually is going to have to make a big-time play. Scrap is going to be spotted at the side of glass, but not able to get out. Dashy and Hook already cleaned up the streets. A clean 4 dead. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, I'll say. And you're absolutely right, and we've seen this really from all of our top 3 teams that have been out there where we've got numbers, we're just not going to throw that away.
Yep.
You put the bomb down, we know you have to be playing in that particular part of the map, and you saw Scrap a couple of damage shots come through over towards Courtyard, but no exit available, and then from there it's just street control, and you just envelop the point completely. That first blood though, 50-50 battle. Shotzzy just a little quicker on the trigger. Huge advantage.
And now this is the side of the map where Optic need to figure out though. They'd love to have plays through this A site. But through mid-street for Thieves, they've been successful every single time on the retakes.
Love it.
Already taking pressure, getting a lot of information as well. He knows that a stun just got thrown from the backside, so everyone is accounted for.
Wow, but Scrap getting away with that first blood is a miracle because it looked like Optic were going to commit to the plant until they saw Scrap over through the drive-through. A trade does unfold though. That's over towards Courtyard, allowing Optic to stay present inside of A while Thieves are trying to get the wrap around.
You see Mercules, he's trying to line up that gunfight after Scrap, but just going to keep him at bay. Bomb goes down, 3v3, 40 seconds. There's already pressure in towards glass. Hydra's able to find one.
It's the mind games again. You've seen Thieves dominate outside towards street. Every single defense. Mercules changes up his position, but Envoy is just going to hold for the defuse. The spam shot is cheeky, but it's not going to work out. And once again, 100 Thieves just
حركته حلوة بس ما زبطت.
On the defensive retake.
Like you said, the fact that Scrap was able to find that first blood and get out of dodge, he sets his teammates up. He knows that the play is going to be in towards A. And as soon as that bomb goes down, they are in a position to find the kills. You take care of Hook, you know Shotzzy's weak. And in a 1v3, Mercules not in a position to even stand a chance in the round. LA Thieves, game point.
And it's been their game from round 1. Outside of maybe the idea of Optic planning immediately, there really hasn't been enough to foil what 100 Thieves have been getting away with. I think in particular, on this side of the map, defensively, they have been very comfortable. as first blood comes through for Hook. And he's looking for more. You see the shots coming through, then there you go. Okay, that'll work.
This looks like rewind.
4-5.
Yeah, for real.
These rounds ending in the first 10 seconds. 4 down. Super clean round there for the Green Wild to extend this S&E a little bit longer. But now they're going to the side of the map that they need to figure out. Just beautiful bait and switch. Teamwork on full display. Round 10. Here we go.
Got to have something on this side of the bomb, though, if you're Optic. Have to have something. Outside of the quick A plants, it's just been a little bit too easy for 100 Thieves to either have early numbers or, in particular, just to win the mind games on how they're going to retake. RCXD, that's going to be something a little bit different this time around. Scrap once again over towards Burger. Shotzi trying to stay out of line of sight from the RC. But Hydrus is going to hold it over towards Shelves and force Utility to counter it out.
Now if you're Optic, don't waste any time. Just get the objective down. Scrap already puts himself in a position in the same spot that he found the first ball last go around, but this time the post-plant setup needs to be better.
RC coming back in. This is the second one here in this round. That also gets deleted. Envoy shots to Hook, not good enough. Dashy finds the kill into Envoy. And now Hook looking for the reset. He thinks he can maybe make a play over towards Courtyard. This would be huge for the post-plant setup. Now it's just down to what can Merc and Shotzi find. Hydra shut down from the pinch. Can Merc find a second? Tough gunfight. Scrap wins it. Just down to Shotzi. Rechecks his flank. No one home. And what a call. Ghost is going to hang on it. Shotzi cleared in time. No, it's being watched, and Scrap will find 3 in the final round to even up the series after a 6-4 search.
Beautifully played rewind, search and destroy from start to finish. The defensive side for 100 Thieves, the retakes for 100 Thieves was way too much to handle based off of what happened in round number 1.
Correct.
The opening nade onto Mercules was way too much, and we have a tie series, ladies and gentlemen.
Little things can lead to massive differences. And as Jay had mentioned, he's got all eyes on what happens at the control. We've got Hacienda, should be a square up, as Thieves and Optic stay tied going to map 3. We'll be back with you on the backside of the break.
ايوه اخباركم شو مسوين؟ الحمد لله. خلينا نشوف المباريات. انتهت المباريات اليوم يا عيال. طيب بقى لا النهائي مو حول النهائي يا شيخ. فانكوفر وميت ما طلعوا باقي، والفريق هذا من ايش اسمه ذا؟ هذا وش هو ذا؟ ذا الترا اتوقع. النهائي يا عيال مطول ترى. ما وريتكم انا دقيقة. هذه هي يا عيال، هذه اليوم. حلوين حلوين. اتوقع بكره بتكون فيها مباريات كثير، يمكن 6 مباريات 5. بدت الجيم الثالث يا عيال. محبين شوتي.
A 1-1 affair here in our final quarterfinal.
يا تتوقعون اطقمهم اللي يلعبون فيها هذه تنباع ولا لا؟ حقت اللعيبة.
The search and destroy goes 10, but outside of two different 15-second rounds for Optic, Thieves held the edge. It felt like throughout the majority of that rewind, search and destroy leads us to a level playing field going into our swing map. Hacienda control. Take me through it, Jay.
And this is the map that I have had highlighted. I could care less what the hard points and what the search and destroys are. The Hacienda control between two juggernauts. After the most recent patch update, updated spawns, you get more opportunities on your offense. And both teams have been able to test it so far this weekend. Optic had an insane comeback versus C9. 100 Thieves split with Gentlemates. But we have the current best control team in the game going up against the former best control team in the game. This is just who wants it more.
Absolutely the case. I think just an overall look at what we've seen so far this weekend. The attack first, because that has been, I think, the biggest impact post-patch. The only other side about this is Optic, largely thanks to their slaying presence, have dominated all of their opponents defensively. Now that told, it has included some relatively soft opponents, but regardless of who they've played, they have done really, really well on the defensive side of the zone. So questions to be answered here for 100 Thieves, whereas like you mentioned, Optic are riding a 5 control map win streak. A lot of the results very one-sided.
They just have way too much slaying power. We saw a sample of that in map number 1. Everyone going positive, everyone clutching up on their one-on-one gunfights, but now Thieves have soaked themselves on the main stage. They know exactly what they're going up against. Mr. Brucey, absolute beamers every time he shoots that Amos. But the most important people on a map like Hacienda are the SMGs. How impactful can you be? What openings can you find? And how long can you value your life in current situations?
That's the big one at the end there, because when we've seen Thieves, especially day 1 against Gentlemates, they were getting Envoy and Hydra into some really good positions defensively, but over-challing, looking for that extra step to pursue a nasty spawn trap. It looked that they had learned their lesson the next time they had played it, but that's hard to say because they lost the map. So we'll see what exactly has been cooked up in the lab, as it will be 100 Thieves on the attack. Optic starting up on their really, again, dominant defensive side in a 1-1 map. Let's get it going.
100 Thieves approach on the early attack. Everyone through well side, nades over the top, looking for an opening kill, but information already gained on the side of Optic. You have all mid-map control. We just have to pre-aim and find our one-on-ones.
Hercules takes the opener, steps away, keeps his life up top at patio. Dashy not seeing much over the middle of the map, is going to try to come assist this with Hook on the pitch, and that is about as perfect as it gets when it comes to reading an opening break-off from 100 Thieves. Nade will push Mercules back, but he's got both weapons to play with and is happy to step up with the stun, but shut down by Envoy, and Thieves will be able to reestablish some offensive success here.
Now, if Ghosty can win this one-on-one gunfight, Optic are going to be not in a good situation, but he's just going to be able to back them down. Shotsy repositions, finds one all the way on the OE. Now time's still ticking and Thieves don't have a tick.
Not yet, but they're working on A. Halfway through the first tick, clock stops at 50 seconds, and they're also still putting a little bit of pressure over towards the B side of the map, so it's kind of two things at once right now for Thieves. Optic having a tough time dealing with that, and the Scrap finds himself on 4 in a row. He'll also secure the first tick.
Segment already locked. Hydra, unfortunately, is going to fall in a very crucial position there, but now it's Envoy's turn to fill that gap. Gets the timing onto Mercules, goes for the town, the dash, he makes him pay for it, but the second segment already is done.
And the third's being worked on. Hook not able to get the pinch off through Fireplace hallway, so it forces the play from the front, and Dashy top window can only do so much. So extra 60 seconds gets tallied. Thieves with the 2-life edge.
Now you have so much time to work with, and Scrap on 5 in a row. Very close to earning himself that cruise missile. It's on Sachi to try to locate where he is or potentially just get behind them. Scrap found an opening.
Number 6 in a row. Clock still at a pause with success happening on the B. What a set of shots on the Dashy. I will say, Thieves are being held from being able to reinforce this thanks to the positioning of Shotzzy. Just comes down to can Optic actually clear the zone. First tick at B done. Envoy trying to force things forward. Not going to happen. And Ghosty will have to, well, I would say wait, but he gets pushed out by Shotzzy. Second tick completely depleted by Optic.
And now Scrap in that situation, just jumping down and securing that one segment, earned himself that cruise missile. So 12v12. All you need is one set of kills. None of them are currently going your way. Hydra in a very crucial position, but he needs his teammates to win some one-on-ones.
Now there's a fight happening over towards window. Long-range shots from Hydra almost gets the snap to Dashy. Goodness me. But trades come through. Clock continues to tick. Scrap taking the position that Hydra had just vacated. Over the top, trying to find Dashy, unable to do so. Perfect response from Optic defensively. Now they have a 3-life edge, under 60 to play.
And now you have to force Thieves to work the OE. You cannot push your way through well. There's too many quarters to check on the exit. So now you have to find a different approach. Instantly getting shut down is going to be Envoy. The rest of 100T try to find an opening, but Hydra's going to get caught. 10v5 with only 40 seconds.
Yeah, complete shutdown happening right here with Optic's defense. Last 3 lives for 100 Thieves. And Shotzi's cleaning them up. Hydra looking for some sort of a trade, but Mercury's right there to pick up where he had left off, now on 5 in a row. He has had an incredible defensive start, 14-5. Holy cow. So Ghosty will see what he can do with his last life. Maybe tally a couple extra kills to reduce that life deficit just a touch, but it'll stay at only 4 ticks of progress. Not the worst case scenario for Thieves, but just a better bounce back from Optic in my mind.
You got 4 segments. You also have a cruise missile going forward in the rest of this game. Ghosty trying to at least end this round, potentially on a streak, but Optic are not going to allow him to stay alive. So even with the early A capture and a lot of time to work with, Optic with so much pressure through that B side and all through top secret hallway, just never gave Thieves a clean push to the objective. And they take the opening defense.
And this is just kind of par for the course for Optic. I mean, their defensive side over the last 60 days has been unbelievable. Not only do they stop progress from happening more than any other team, but they also finish the round with the greatest life differential in their favor. The offensive side, though, has been, I think, the part where we really look at and say, wow, these guys really have locked in and figured things out with the Mercules and the addition, because they're also 3rd best team at capturing and 2nd best team at mitigating life differential. So they're really efficient when it comes to playing on the offensive side, and we'll see if that will carry here into this pivotal matchup.
Let's see if Mercules can be efficient early into this round, because he ends that round on 5 in a row. Halfway towards the cruise missile, great team shots to take care of Scrap, and an early 2 dead.
Yeah.
Going to allow you to hop on a save point for free.
And you know Ghosty's playing over towards patio side, so you can get 2 players on, try to get this first tick done, maybe even do more if you can find some sort of a stretch out by Shotzi. Oh, and the response from Mercules around the back. Gets shut down, though, before maybe even that first tick fully gets captured. No, instead, it is locked. Shotzi taking his route over towards the B side of the map. Dashy quick to join him, but Thieves have responded.
And now they have the numbers to flood the
B, but you don't got يا ولد طرب.
For the green wall is going to allow them to stack over towards B.
What an absolute set of shots out of Dashy. Can now play with some elevation over the corner. Ghosty, nah, get out of my face. Killing spree for Dashy. Mercury's locking things down towards Patio. Cleaning up the spawn. What a thanks to Bruce.
That's already 3 segments gone. If you are Hydra, you cannot afford to chow this. That time is going to be extended because Shotzi on the OE just pulls him on that side of the map. Now it's Dashy's turn to potentially earn himself the cruise missile, but you're up by 7 lives. You got so much time to work with.
Indeed you do. Ghosty shows himself up top on the patio. Mercules taking an extended route over towards Rock. The 2 ARs, the last ones remaining, and Mercules wins an isolated 1v1.
يو يا القلبة.
Oh my God, slam!
يو يا القلبة.
6 for Dashy, shut down through window. And outside of the cinematic kills, it's actually Thieves who benefit off the eliminations.
Now only down by 4 lives is the Thieves. Able to manage the absolute montage there from Dashy and stabilize on the map. All of Optic trying to find their way on out. Sending pressure through Rock. The stun is able to connect, but you're probably thinking Hydra's here alone. Nope, Ghosty's got his help.
But Ghosty falls quickly. Doesn't make a difference. The damage credits the assist as Hydra collapse on to 2. And Optic have to take a breath. Still a 3-life edge, but stuck. Trying to work their way either through Secret or through Spiral. Scrap a couple of shots, does not finish the kill. Hydra following back up, back and forth. Pinstripe goes the kill feed. Back onto the point, though, go Optic. Big win by Hook, and the clock pauses at 109 with a 2nd tick of progress looking good. Hydra, yeah, how about that for 2? Stops the progress just before the 2nd tick gets locked.
Hydra's been the safety net every single time, but you don't really have the ability to play trades. That 5th segment is almost close to being locked, and Optic are up by 4 lives. You already have Shotzi in a position playing for spawners. They get the read on him, and they win the gunfight. Beautiful plays off the respawn to get that read and get that kill.
What a fight for Mercules, down to had to have been half HP. Still forces it versus a Hydra, gets the win. Scrap. Not able to stop that 2nd tick of progress from being locked. Hydra, but doing the job inside a connector, at least for a time. That's 3 dead. Mercury's going to keep the clock at a pause. It's a 7v2 on top of that. Hydra has to clear this quickly, but chooses the incorrect corner. And Optic looked good to take the offense. One last bullet maybe needed to find Ghosty, and there it is. Optic quickly up 2-0.
I was thinking it was all about the SMGs, but the ARs right now for the Green War are hitting a different level. Mercury's dominates in the opening round. That round all goes to the Batman. As he just popped takeover at this B point, we gotta see it again. Freebie number 2, and then who is it? Doesn't matter. I'm going for the ego chow. Big Brucey feeling it on the main stage.
Unreal. And yeah, there it is, just slow motion. The Bruce coming through. Unbelievable stuff. And that's in a moment, again, where Thieves are about to put you into a bit of a spawn trap. But Bruce locks things up, extends the clock an extra 60 seconds, and how critical is that? And on top of that, I hate to just kind of overlook it, but Merkle's is 21-10 for crying out loud.
You're popping takeover, and now on the defensive side, you have a cruise missile in the back.
يحسمها اوبتيك يا عيال. هذا ماشين قاعد يمين.
Try to extend this game, but they have a everyone through top open. The rookie makes them pay for it with an opening double.
And the thing about it is that's a 3-man hit for Thieves. Merkle's doesn't actually see any of it. It's just a late check, and the dead slide allows him to get 2. And now Shotzi could just manipulate and play off of the spawn timings of Thieves. And he's seen both players cross spiral. Doors will close, so maybe a sound cue here. And that will help out Ghosty to at least secure the flank. But for Thieves, limited amounts of success as they only get about halfway through the first tick at A.
Time is ticking, man. Know that consistently off the respawn, you gotta be worried about behind you because the SMGs are just getting lost, but Thieves are clutching up. 3 dead in the feed, make it all 4. First segment already locked the double stack, make it the triple stack at A.
Hercules just trying to make sure patio stays clear. Looks like a chalk and rotate
type
situation.
صعبة.
1 life edge and a minute 50 on the clock here for Thieves to work with. Stun comes through, Hydra avoids it. Can't finalize the shots though onto Shotzi, who gets away with the kill onto Envoy. So even life count, but Thieves have some forward and extended pressure through Wine, and there's an opportunity to put the pause immediately into play on the B.
Now there's so many different angles Optic can approach from. Shotzi working on pitch, wins a massive one versus Envoy. He needs to start to clutch up on some of these one-on-ones because now you're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, you don't know that there's 3 there, but Scrap's able to find a couple of hit markers through the wall. Doesn't finish that off as Shotzi finds the double. That will clear off the second tick of progress.
شوزي تربل دبل ما شاء الله تبارك الله.
Minute and 30 left on the game clock. Shotzi again going for a repinch. All of the 100 Thieves are stacking on Wells' side, and the rookie is ready and waiting.
مهدين.
Hellstorm called in. That finds both Mercules and a teammate. So nothing gained, nothing lost. Minute 12 on the clock. Dashy from the window. Shut down by Scrap. Shotzi on 4. Just going to hold this off angle. They're not affected by that stun. That one will hit though. And Scrap will realize that Optic defensively are playing very far forward, and yeah, they're going to take extended rounds. Unfortunate teammate comes through, and now a chance for Thieves to stretch the map.
Yeah, that's 2 dead now. Now you're banking on Mercules to be your safety net. Catches the angle on the pinch. Dashy staying alive on the opposite side is going to allow the teammates off the respawn to be in a position to find these guys in top office. 15v14.
Bounce.
40 seconds to go. Beautiful stun there out of the nuke. Man advantage still in favor of Optic.
You know Hydra's playing around the back. Dashy, this is all about timing for him. Stun, Nate gets tossed. Hydra knows exactly where he's at, and whoa, for a second there you thought Bruce may have snapped onto him, but not the case. Shotzi playing backside fences. Hydra caught between a rock and a hard place. Under 30 seconds in the last 9 lives here for Thieves.
Basically the last push right here. Envoy, if is there any moment for you to dominate on the map, this is it. You have top flag. You're in a crucial position to get a couple players off the spawn, but your teammates can't leave the spawn of their own. Shotzi has a locked. Envoy, but only 8.7 hops on.
You know that Dashy's playing around the back. The ARs take care of that. Now it's just all about the focus from the front. Offensive nades being tossed. Envoy will drop, but Scrap takes his position. Hook playing inside a 10. Can't really do too much. 3rd tick of progress. Coming through rapidly. There's the challenge from Shotzi. He finds the first. Follow up here on the opposite side. Shots though aren't clean enough. 4v3.
ما أقدر.
It's just not if Scrap could get here. May not make a difference. Optic defensively are in place. Just comes down to overwhelming and finding the final shots, which they do. Up 3-0 control for the green wall.
Best control team at the right time. Even when it goes down to the nitty-gritty, 5v6, they are putting themselves in positions to always play trades. They are not afraid of the chow. All the momentum on the side of the green wall. And they dominate in that control versus the second best control team in the game. The update has not treated Thieves well, and now Optic in firm control of the series.
It's just one of those that you look at the individual moments and think about the mind games that plays as well. A couple of the challenges where Mercules is half HP and he's still winning them. Dashy, impossible 1v3 moments, and he's coming away with just about everything every time. Yeah, just when Thieves start to find some sort of success around the zone, somebody hits you from a flank, someone hits you from a pinch, they just don't expect it.
Yeah, and it was so tough too when they were setting up for that play over towards B with the cruise missile. Because once Mercules opens up at that first kill, you're already man down. Then you get a kill with the cruise, but you also take down a teammate. So it's a 3v2 in favor of Optic. You don't have the numbers, so you were forced to slow down once again. But when you look at the numbers on the side of Optic, the assists are not the best. They are not the best. This is all individual. We're talking about a super team that was built for 100 Thieves. No, ever since the addition of Mercules on the opposite side for Optic, that is what they look like. A super team winning super gunfights and looking super in prime form.
53 total kills between Dashy and Mercules.
Unreal, man.
Lord have mercy. Wow, if that doesn't set the tone. But again, let's take a breath and do the diligence on the other side, because now we're looking at a rewind hardpoint. And if you're an avid fan, or even just a mediocrely avid fan about Call of Duty, you know that Thieves love this map. So it comes down to, can they find success here? Because candidly speaking, they have shown vulnerabilities. They did lose this to Vancouver earlier in the weekend, but to be fair, Search are looking like they're in prime form. But still, fact of the matter is, this is a map that Thieves are looking at in the series saying, we have to win this one.
They have to win this one if you want to try to force a game number 5 and not bank out back-to-back tournaments top 8. You ended off the season going back-to-back in a bad place in a couple weeks ago. You might have the same result here, just with a different opponent. Optic are playing on a whole different level. All of map number 1, they had the fundamentals and they had the slaying in play. If you are Thieves, rotations need to be your main focus, but you need to be able to win some of these one-on-ones. You cannot lose them in crucial spots.
Yeah, and I think in particular, you're looking at the ARs versus the ARs. Take down Mercules or Dashy first, and then let Envoy and Hydra run the routes that they want to run. But at the moment, it's been quiet for Thieves fans in the last about 20 minutes or so throughout the halftime break and the control. Need to see a spark of life here. And again, this series has been one-sided maps essentially for one side or the other, and that's kind of what you need to think you need to see here for Thieves. Is come out, take your map pick, dominate it, get us back to a best of 1 map 5.
Rewind.
It needs to be teamwork makes the dream work as well, my friend.
Agreed.
Right now,
rewind.
Core 4 of Optic.
Rewind, hard point.
Some of the best Call of Duty I've ever seen, and I've been around the scene for quite some time.
هل تكون القاضية من
into the rewind. 100 Thieves, backs against the wall. Not spawning on the preferred side. Optic are looking to just hold this side of the map, and you already find a kill. That's insane stuff from Shotzzy, but the instant response there from Thieves.
A little bit of team shots, I imagine, from Dashy, but still. The one-tap pop-off is a little bit different. Thieves will stabilize, kind of evenly out-trade that, and get a hard point for the opening time. Trying to follow up through Elephant and a little bit deeper. So again, early pinch routes being established while the rest of Optic are focused on the outside street.
Hook's gonna get caught on the pinch, so this is where you start to get aggressive with these kills. Hook's gonna spawn all the way behind you. You're going back and forth in the trade fights, but at least for now, Thieves have been able to flip the spawns. And with 19 seconds on the P1, you will absolutely take it, but we need gunfights to secure this side of the map.
Yep. Taking what's in front of them, though, are Optic after that double from Hercules. Seeing the hard point vacant, he'll step in for a little bit of time to counteract the opening. The battle over towards the backside of P2. Shotzzy even has the stun to check out backside dumpster. Knows that they have Hydra back there. Hercules diving forward. He's done well to catch a couple, plus also nades to keep himself alive. Scrap's trying to get here to help. It might seem a little bit over-ambitious, but this is an important 1v1 in the backside of the map, and Hercules will take it once again. Optic gonna have the numbers. Can they Scrap find a couple, and who gets pushed back? Thieves stabilize.
And it all starts with Envoy finding a massive double blocking the spawn to give the advantage in the numbers. They flip the map again. 30 seconds still remaining here at P2. A push from Hook around the backside. And this is where you don't want to be, because now if they get aggressive, they can start to spawn you behind you and chain it to that P3, P4. But at least for now, Dash is
الحين صفر ولا معلق.
but you let people out.
Ghosty Scrap finds the first two. Envoy shuts down the rotation. That's all four dead. And that disaster spawn situation that you were calling out, Jay, is now well and truly in play. And it's not getting any better. Oh my goodness, Scrap 10-3, 6 in a row. A flawless rotation here for Thieves.
Oh, and they can blow the game wide open here. Scrap knows that he's playing the OE. All he needs is one more gunfight. Cruise missile earned. 7 in a row. Hydra also has one in the back pocket. They are lighting up the kill feed, but Scrap does let one by. Can Hook make a very crucial play, potentially to flip these spawns?
Envoy mixed up over towards Dumpster. 40 seconds till the fight for here at P3. Scrap on 9 in a row. Teammates still spawning favorably over towards the right side of the map as Scrap will try to keep the rotation back in safe. Shut down. Dashy's nade collects onto 2. What a lifeline here for Optic, because you're absolutely right. It looked like just based on the rotation, Thieves were about to be up 120-5, but instead, Optic right back into within 20 points.
Now they're in a tight setup. Everyone has to clutch up on gunfight because already one player is going to spawn all the way across the map. And the same thing could be said for Hook. A trade fight.
يا عمري يا جوجي.
Shots able to line up a double. Can he get the triple to secure the spawn? No, he does not. Envoy stabilized. But Optic need to find an early break because this is a money hill.
Yes, they do. Slow start from both Shotzzy and Hook. A lot of it thanks to what Scrap has put together early. Speaking of, he's in a little bit of trouble backside truck. Hook trying to push around. Dashy right there to help out. Ghosty trying to follow, but Mercules with the perfect timing on the Mercules almost finds 3, but Hydra and Scrap find the kills they need as soon as their teammates pop up. So a chance to fight for this once again. Back and forth we go. Shotzzy trying to break on through the spawns around, but not gonna happen. 100 Thieves break past 100 points. Now it's down to Optic. How do you play this? We'll take a listen to see what they decide to do with the Bravia. Optic Gaming, listen in.
We got this time. No, ain't off the Scrap, ain't off the Scrap. Make sure we got change. Go right. We're good. Easily come back. Promise you. Just like champs. Yo, close fight. Scrap.
لازم يرجعون بالبي 5.
Yo, what guy's done on me? He got through. Back right down. What's it blue? Okay, he's still dumb. I'm gonna carry our. He's going all the way around. What's full pitching yellow? I'll pick it up. Okay, I'm still close white. I'm pitching these kids. He's going outer yellow. I'm pitching these kids. Behind the stage. Yeah, behind the stage. Stage behind us. Yeah, one guy's going RV. He's behind us. Another one. Nice, good one.
يا عمري يا تعزيز.
I needed it, watch out. He's on the right carry. I'm gonna pinch. I got trip time. He's 2 on the crate. I'm pinching. There you go. No, Hydra's there. No, I'm not. I stun him. I got detonated. I have your help. 3 here. Too close. All got it. Another one. Scraps their side.
يا عمري يا جوجي. يا عمري يا جوجي. يوه من ذا داشي.
They're spawning right, I think. I have their side, I'm already. Yo, minus actually dead. Okay. Maybe multiple. What do you love on 18? One shot, on point 18. 18, absolutely 18. Outer RV and 18. I have your pitch, trying to stay on. Outer RV and 18. Ridley Funko, one shot on time. Okay. He's going, good time. Our side. Yeah, 2 on time. I'm gonna hit Zig 1 time. 2 on time. He's watching Zig, 1 shot. Nice.
يا عمري يا جوجي. يا ولد يلعب. والله رجعوا يا عيال. والله رجعوا.
Zig. I have Zig. Yo, bitch, dead. What's it blue? Nothing Zig. Watch out blue.
يا عمري. شوف اللي اسمع الكول. حرام خلاه.
Tell you what, Jake.
جابوهم والله يا عيال جابوهم.
Really looked good on rotation. Optic have really put together the points when they need to most. 40-point game though, still in favor of Thieves.
You also got to keep in mind that Scrap still has that cruise missile in the back pocket. A 20-10 start. He is taking over. The slaying is now here for 100 Thieves. You're currently up by 50. You have the side of the map that you currently want, but now this is where the spawn's getting a little bit freaky. Everyone out. Optic technically chain this ending of the P1 to the P2. This is their way back in the game.
Dashy's going to take the long route back just to make sure the extra extension through Burger is at least held honest. Help from Mercules to trade out 1. The hard point will open with some question marks on who's going to control spawns. Optic they matter most though, and as P2 opens up, it's Optic in control.
You might have to invest the cruise missile here.
Yeah,
because this is a full 60. You're spawning all the way across the map. Optic are fully set up. but extra layers already being created. You're not expecting Mercules to be at Burger. He already wins a one-on-one. Now he's stalling time. Hydra's not going to be in a play. Walks right into the pre-aim. The young gun is lighting them up. Almost finds kill number 7, but it's basically a tie game.
And with 30 seconds remaining, you don't really have the option to pull the cruise anymore. So now you're just kind of finessing for the exit time and hoping that you can get a rotation over to New. And even that's not looking very convincing. Optic have awoken in the back half of the first set of hills and now have a lead. 160-152, 17 seconds of scrap looking like a guarantee, and you may have an opportunity to rotate through street. But Ghosty shuts that down. Spawns will move, but
yeah, but you don't want to die in this scenario because you're consistently going to be spawning behind P2. Optic for now have been able to flip the map. The only player on this side of the map is going to be Shotzi. Does he have another miraculous play? He's getting overwhelmed. Ghosty. He's so hard to keep track of. He's stalling so much time, and they have lost each other at this point.
Well, Ghosty's going to benefit, well, or so he thought. Mercury's trying to save the day. Damage onto both players. Ghosty finishes the first, but Shotzi's still alive. We've got a conga line over from the left side of the map with the spawns. Ghosty now on 4 in a row. Heating up as Scrap follows up behind that. Potential lead swap as Thieves continue to control the hill.
You could already see Hoop thinking about the next play. He knows it's going to be very difficult to find a break here at P3. Lead change here for 100T, but Hook has worked his way behind enemy lines.
Awareness though good for Thieves on the play. Hydra just trying to find the
angle.
They cannot find Hook. There's the shots that they need to know exactly where he's at, and he will drop. Scrap time, though, goes back to Optic. Absolute slammage comes through again as the ARs for Optic continue to give them a chance, and all of a sudden, you look down towards the minimap, they've won spawns, they've won the hill.
And now Scrap needs to invest this cruise missile. You cannot keep it in the back pocket for this long. You're going to try to attempt an early break with the gunny, but 2 of your teammates are going to fall. Now off the respawn, everyone has to flood through mid-street. Cruise missile needs to be called.
Hydra's going to hit the deck. Here's the cruise. Called it perfectly, but the kills come through for Optic as soon as the tower gets pulled out. What can Ghosty find as the information starts to get called in? He finds the first, but no one else is here to stop this. That should be a free respawn, and it is. Hook right back into position to help this defense at the hard point. Dashy on 5 in a row. You can feel it if you're a Green Wall fan, as this last 20 seconds is looking good. Ghosty can only finesse his life for, you think, for so long, but he finds 2. You just have to challenge the hill, and Dashy shuts it down again.
Just like champs, a slow start, but so far a phenomenal finish. Only need 30 seconds. Thieves again in another top 8 placing.
It's going to get to around 235. Generator's about to open up. You have to have it right here if you're Thieves, and you need to have it out of players like Envoy, players like Hydra. The subs have to sing a song here.
Dashy already finds 2, though. Allowing his SMGs to try to work their way on in, but Hydra with the switch up is able to find 2 of his own. But Shotzi, the man on a mission that makes things look impossible. He's
team kill.
So damn happy. Pops all 4. They need 10.
They could possibly win it off this next hit. 1 for Hydra, but everything else has to come through quickly, and Shotzi's not done. 5 in a row. Can he find the 6? This needs 1 more. Dashy follows up, and Optic Gaming take down Thieves on the path to semis.
What a series between 2 juggernauts, but at the right time, where they needed to be in their best form. Optic are
فرحان والله مبسوط والله حقك يا شيخ
You can never
حقك عطانا
Shotzi hitting the pose that he's known for. And
يا سلام يا سلام.
Again, super proud of his son. The entire team fired on all cylinders versus some of the best players that we have in the world. And they move on to Championship Sunday.
What composure. What resiliency. You call it perfectly. Merc was the one who makes the calls. Yo, just like champs. Let's chill. We got this.
والله ذنبهم يا عيال انهم واجهوا شوتسي والله.
Oh, Hydra's there. Never mind.
ذنبهم الوحيد.
And that's when the map starts to turn around. That first P5 that we have. Unbelievable scenes from Optic, and yeah, that coupled with the dominance on Skyline, a map that a lot of teams have played this weekend and have struggled to figure out, at least in terms of finding complete controlled wins. And then on top of that, talking about the word control, Mercy B, you just beat down Thieves in their best mode, 3-0 on Hacienda. These guys are looking nasty.
I just don't know for the remaining teams left in this tournament what maps you want to play this squad on.
Clue.
Because they are in final form in every single one of them. They can play whatever hard point. They need to fix up the search and destroy, but it doesn't matter. Tomorrow, they go again.
It's another championship Sunday for the Green Wall, but there are more teams in play on Sunday. To give us our final reactions, we head back down to the stage with Fancy with the final interview.
Shotsy. You guys carried that momentum from 3 major events back to back and then into Riyadh. How do you feel right now?
I feel amazing, man. I'm just.
يا واحد يترجم.
I'm honestly proud of my team.
واحد يترجم يا عالم.
They are literally the best players in the game, and I just do my thing.
Absolutely. Well, 100 Thieves are out. FaZe is out. There is nobody that's favorite into this tournament is still lasting. Do you think you guys are winning this?
That's the plan. You know, we can't take anyone light. But yeah, as long as we play our game, I definitely think we can win.
Absolutely. Well, you guys just won an elimination match, and you know what that means. You get to crush your opponent's key. Are you excited?
Yes. I've never done this, so I want to do it.
All right, let's go into the key crush and get the show on the road. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at the Esports World Cup have been locked with the semi-finals starting tomorrow. And Shotzzy is about to destroy one more key.
صوت.
Brother, you destroyed that thing in half, but this marks another year where 100 Thieves do not steal a trophy. Listen, next up, in the semifinals, you have Team Heretics. They've been flying through the group stage. They're watching right now. What do you want to say to them?
I want to say something in Spanish. Let me try to think for a second.
Take your time.
Honestly, I broke. Good luck. Good luck to Miami.
All right, good luck to you and good luck to them. Let's go to Blaze with the exit interview.
I'm here with Scrap right now.
Yeah,
Can we all make some noise for 100 Thieves, everybody? What a season it has been. A lot of amazing moments on the main stage throughout the year for you, Scrap. You guys don't get the job done today. What happened here in this matchup with Optic?
Yeah, you know, they were a better team at the end of the year than us. We didn't have good practice. Honestly, the practice was better going into this tournament, but obviously it didn't show.
Yeah,
it just didn't come together here towards the end. Now, you know, being here in Riyadh with these fans, I know you guys have received a lot of love. You got a bunch of fans here in the front. What has the experience been like for you, man?
I mean, Saudi Arabia, this shit is insane, bro. Like, I've never seen a production at this level. The fans are unbelievable. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, man, it sucks.
Yeah, it does. But, you know, when it comes down to the Thieves, a fantastic season for you guys. You go back to back, just kind of, you know, just thinking about it all as a whole. How do you feel about what you and the boys were able to do this year?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to get emotional because, like, this shit means so much to me, guys. You don't understand. But the season as a whole was good, I guess. But to be honest, the end of the year is a failure. I'm here to win the big tournaments. The majors are kind of just like a stepping stone. And yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. But your passion is so strong on the stage. Everybody loves you out here. Anything that you want to say for the fans as you close out your season?
Yeah, no, I appreciate all you guys cheering for me all throughout the season, even in the U.S. I appreciate it. Shout out my family back at home. And everyone at Thieves, all the Thieves fans at home as well. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all, that's going to do it from us. Chris, take it away.
Thank you very much, Blaze. And Papa Hook, I owe you a steak. That's right, your son got the job done. The rest of my analysts saw it coming. Optic Texas finishing in 4. Now with the Optic Gaming logo moving into our top 4, Alley Cat, what's next for them?
What's next for them? It just seems like domination. It doesn't seem like anybody's really truly tested them. I mean, out of all the matches they played this weekend, this was the closest one. And even with their backs against the wall, we saw Shotzzy 2-10. That is not often. And not only that, that, he came back almost even. He made some of the most heroic and game-changing plays near the end to solidify them this win. It is unbelievable what this team is capable of doing when they are at rock bottom.
Enigma, everyone said Champs was a fluke. Now Optic proves that was not the case. They go through 100 Thieves. They've already beaten Boston, Vancouver, Toronto, teams that are still in this tournament. So what are your thoughts on this squad right now? How well is Optic playing?
Oh, easily the best team in the game right now. It's absolutely undeniable. I mean, we all spoke about it. Was this a honeymoon period? Was this just a case of them getting that fluky run? No. They have now taken on pretty much everybody, decimated them, and carved their own path deeper into this tournament.
Yeah, it's like the undying focus on the right things in the map. I mean, every single time you saw Shotzi and Hook, Ali, you mentioned it, starting off 4-14, 2-11. You're thinking it could spiral out of control. No, they get the train back on the tracks. Like Shotzi is playing for every single spawn. The comms are there. The respawn was flawless. Like we've been saying, this is the highest level Call of Duty anybody has played all year. Optic look unbelievable.
It's time to give Bruce his flowers. 2 minutes of hill time, positive 12, popping off with most damage in the lobby. Big Bruce was doing it big in that final game. But it feels like everyone on this roster has been able to pop off at different moments. On the other side, I didn't feel that way about LA Thieves.
كلنا ياسر والله ما هم فاهمين شيء. خلها ربك تكفى. هذه الحسمة يا عيال. هذه الحسمة. اتوقع كذا يا عيال بنقفل البث. شوف ولا ما تي مباريات ولا شو السالفة؟ نقفل يا عيال ولا خلاص؟ ولا باقي؟
But he understands how
بكرة يا عيال النهائي ونص النهائي. نشوفكم بكره يا الربع ان شاء الله. بكره ببث من بدري، والله اليوم ما انشغلت. نشوفكم على خير يا الربع، مع السلامة.